God, I get distracted way too easy. I was meant to do what, magic next? Yet here I am implementing random stuff, finding bugs, and squishing them, right? So Wayfinder wasn't working correctly. Should, there we go, perfectly. Right, should I add spaces? Nah, it's fine. So I have color coordinated it. So mobs are in red, you are in green, and then other players will be in yellow, which is slightly different. And of course, you can probably see right here, the training dummy, right? So this is actually quite useful for showing things off, because if we hit it, it says there, the last attack dealt 4 damage to this training dummy, right? And then after about 30 seconds, it'll actually give me a total damage and your supposed DPS, right? So if we just hover around here for 30 seconds, we might as well peruse the spell books and start going through that, because that is what we want to talk about today. Or throw that out, and then clear the inventory, right? Yeah, because we want these, because I'll show you obviously how to make the training dummy. It's nice and simple, all right, because it's just a utility thing. So we did 15 damage, then damage per second was 0 because it was 30 seconds. So we did, what, half a point of damage per second, so it wasn't that great. But yeah, total damage, just nice indicators. You can actually test out the enchants and, of course, the spell books. But we will just, unfortunately, delete this helpful guide. And all you have to do, we'll start from the start, is find a name tag, and name it Training Dummy. And then you can name any Iron Golem Training Dummy, and he will then become, well, a training dummy. Right? Pretty self-explanatory. So as soon as you tag him with the name tag, he loses his AI. Not sure why that is going crazy. I think the scoreboard, yeah, okay, the scoreboard didn't reset, so I need a system for that, right? Because we killed him, and then the scoreboard's just locked. Right. If I go, what was the scoreboards? Objective, set display, sidebar, DPS, any of these, I think it is. Last, no, that's still there. Check, 100 is 1,000, so that's its total HP. Constant is also 1,000, but doesn't change. Count is not active. Current is not active. Last is not active. And total is not active. So I don't know why you're trying to tell me the damage, right? Because there should be checks on this. Right, this should do it. I forgot, it's an unless statement, so unless the scoreboard is there, it qualifies. That should get rid of it, yeah. So now if we hit you, right, we do 1 damage. That's interesting. So range effects damage? No, we're still doing 1. It's just weird for a second. A crit is 2, then we can try with all the different multipliers. But yeah, the main thing we're meant to be going over today is, of course, the spellbook. So we'll clear him up, and I just want to obviously summon it back again to make sure it hasn't looped like it did before. So we summon Training Dummy. Perfect. No spam in the chat. We'll clear our inventory if I find it. There we are. And spellbooks. Right. Where to begin? I guess we'll go Cone. Right, and we'll just do Ancient. So yeah, GUI, we sort of went over it before, will pop up down here next to where the offhand slot would be. But of course we need Lapis, because Lapis is your consumable. So there you go, we have 3 quick cast charges, and then our normal book. If we hold down the right click, we can start charging up the spell before releasing it. Done. Did 2 damage apparently, is that all? God, that's not much. 4 damage that time, plus 2 from the Poke Fangs. I guess the first projectile didn't actually damage you from this range, which actually makes sense because... No, 4 and 2, there we go. Yeah, I might have to tweak the damage, because there's not a lot of damage now, is it? Right? And then the quick cast for the Ancient Book is just to speed up your casting, so you can see the little progress bar on the casting amps up, and you can spam it to actually cast. Now, this doesn't actually cost charges, but it does cost life. So if I go back into survival, right, it's costing us 2 hearts each time. So it's obviously not something you can obviously spam. I would sort of like to get rid of the knockback. I need to look through the damage types to see if there's one that doesn't do knockback. God, I hate this world. I wish I didn't have so much stuff set up, otherwise I would recreate the world, because I have no idea what's going on with the biomes, right? I've tweaked them so much that just, there's lightning everywhere, despite the fact, I'm pretty sure this should be void. Yeah, it is the void, yet we get lightning all the time. Is that a real thing in the void? Also, the scoreboard no longer needs to be there. Oh, I forgot the sidebar portion. Okay, other spell tomes. So if we grab out the Amplifying Tome and the Rejuvenating Tome, right, these do consume the quick cast charges, so the little bars to the left of the little icon, right? So if we left click, you see it fades away. So it gets consumed, left click again, it's going to eat through those charges, but each time we are clicking, we get regeneration and health boost. So it's a nice little buff, and after a few seconds, there you go, it pops back up. So same with the amplifying tome, we click it, goes away, but we get absorption, speed, haste, and strength. The health boost, of course, was from the rejuvenating tome. And then it comes back, and we can go back and forth, right? So just little bonuses. Now, there are ways to obviously increase the charges. As you saw, I did get up to 3, if you can figure out the way to do it, right? Some combination of spells. Essentially, I want to make it fun to swap back and forth between spells. That's all I want to really do. Now, there are 2 systems. We have the enchanting system that we've obviously seen, right? If I get a decent one, where's that? Collector, that is passive. Can we give me reinforce? I think that's also passive. Warding is kind of okay. It's not great. Unseen should do. So if we go ahead and give our spell tomes the little buffs like normal, right? So if we grab out a, god damn this lightning. Let me just do this, right? Weather off. So I can't stop it spamming, but I can get rid of it. So if we go ahead and add a empty slot using our shards of power to one of our books, we'll just do the malevolent tome. Gets consumed. Now I get an empty slot. Done. And we can go over to our enchanting station, do that, and I believe which crystal was unseen. That one was unseen. Done. Our quick cast is now unseen, along with the obviously the spell book. So we get the ancient effect, increasing our spell casting speed, but then we also get the unseen. Now I do have to wait for the little charge to come back, right? So as soon as it goes from that little faded back to the normal size, right? Should. Don't tell me it's messed up. Your board, objective, set display, sidebar. I believe this is quick cast. Nope. Charge. Nope. Cast. Ooh. No, not charge. Cast. Why is that not negative? Scoreboard. Player. Set. Add all. Quick cast. No, I need to do remove, don't I? Can you set with negative? Oh, you can. Perfect. That should count back. Don't know what locked it. That is something I will have to figure out. But as soon as it gets back to 0, there we go. We got back to charge. That was interesting. But yeah, so if we left click with this one now, right, we get invisibility. Because it has, of course, the unseen. As you can see, the quick cast is counting back. And we should actually get an extra charge from this, right? This is one of the ways to start banking up extra charge. Depending on, again, what quick cast you have, you can bank up extra ones. Meaning that you can go to actually spamming it now, right? So I can actually spam it over and over again, until we get the actual cast, right? So there are ways to combo it together, which I think overall should be fun. Now, the main thing, which I'll have to set up, of actually improving the spellbook, right? Having new spells attached to it. Well, we need to head up there and go to the Enchanter's Crucible, because we need to make something special. We have to make spell charms. Now, I have actually fleshed out the advancements for this section, and boy, is this game massive. Right? So that's the basic, the beginnings. Then we have Runechant's Craft. Runechant's Journey will be all the goals. Then we also have the New World, which will be some more information. Rune Crafting, the Lost Realm, some more information. Equipment Tinkering, now with the leather, right? And a few other craftables. Multi-block structures, just an easy way to go and navigate to find all the different multi-block structures you can craft. And then Shulk Crafting, which is still to be added to. And of course the collection log, Weapon Poison. I think that's everything. But yeah, we need to make ourselves some of these charms. Where's the initial one? I'm looking for a plain name tag. There we go. So I throw a name tag, an Enchanter's Crystal, into an Enchanter's Crucible to create a blank spell charm. You can use an anvil to inscribe a spell. Spell charms can be added to spell tomes to add effects to the spell, right? So if we look at any of these, they say keyword, then the word. So for instance, if you named a spell charm Runic, you can then add that to your spell book, meaning that, well, there are a lot of different spells for you to access, and of course, different combinations. So, it said name tag and a Enchanter's Crystal, any will do. If we just chuck them both into the Crucible, they'll combine together, and we'll get ourselves a enchanted name tag, right? You can then take that, obviously, to an anvil, and what did we say? We said Runic. So if I go ahead, you know what, I want copies before I mess about, right? So we get Runic. Now, you do need the empty slots once again, right? So, overall, you can have 4 different things, be it quick casts or charms, meaning that you can have, you know, a 4-prong spell, if you will, or a 4 quick cast effect, or, you know, a mix, right? So if we grab out some more shards of power, which I actually have, we will reset the book, and this time we'll add the charm to it. So we just want The cone again. Where is it? Where's cone? There we go. Over here. Add the little charge, the empty slot. And we do have to set up the altar again, which is nice and easy. I just have to add the end crystal back to it. And we can go ahead, chuck down the book, and chuck down the charm. And ta-da, disappears. We now have... Chuck it down. Did it not disappear? Well, it's not disappearing. Why are you not disappearing? Ooh. This is most likely going to be because the way that the anvil name stuff is, of course, different to the way you usually write it or generate it with a command. So if I do @e type, oh, I've got the y equals item, sort equals nearest, and limit equals 1. Right, so it says right here, display, name, runic. That's all it has, but the brackets are the important thing. It has one curly and nothing else, right? Oh, actually, no, here it has the... Was it apostrophe, then quotation marks? Okay, so let me double check the crafting. Well, it wasn't actually that typo. No, instead, all I forgot was an S, right? So the folder it's in is charms, not charm, right? Because it's plural, and that messed me up. Well, don't touch this. If I was in survival, I'd start choking. Okay, let's try this again. So spell tome, charm. There we go, that sounds a bit better. And of course, our book now has charm runic, meaning if we were to cast, remember it was a black ball before, now it's still black ball. Okay. Step 2, test if this works. It's only doing 4 damage, so that's telling me it is probably not, right? Oh, what was that? Oh no, that's the total damage. Yeah, not gonna lie, this was a lot not finished, so to speak. Oh, that was even my way of phrasing it was horrible. Okay, so we did 4 damage before, right? But now, there we go, we do 10 damage. So runic is just a straight buff. Well, it's not significant, right? 10 damage isn't a lot, especially for the casting time. No, I think all of them are slightly undertuned compared to the damage that you can actually put out with just a sword. So like, yeah, because like this is 12 per hit, and obviously I can spam it. I can do, you know, a decent chunk of damage to the Iron Golem, versus if I were to just cast on repeat, you know, 10 chomp, so sometimes we'll get the extra 2 if it hits, right? I'm slightly off on the angle, it looks like, to actually get the chomp as well, because I think it's just around him. But yeah, so 10 over and over again. It's not fantastic, but there is one charm, I think, that is... Why am I going up there? I have them in my inventory. That is actually worthwhile, right? That I think is probably either overtuned or the right balance at the moment. Ooh, so if we name another one, this time we're going to call it Rapture. Yeah, Rapture. And we'll use a fresh book. We will go with the normal arc cast, I think. Yeah, instead. Ooh, don't delete it accidentally. Definitely need the empty slots. Done. And then if we go back over to the altar, actually, I think this one requires the Heart of Enchanting. Where is it? There we go. So we attune our altar. Ta-da. Then we go ahead and add the charm to the book. Done. Right, so now our spell has Rapture. If we cast, this one should be a bit more noticeable. It does have a longer cast time. Yeah, I think I need to increase the particles, right? Because they're there, they're just hidden by the dark particle. Okay, so we're casting. Hit him. And yeah, 30 damage. Not quite the effect I was going for. It's meant to count down. It only does it once, interestingly. If I go game mode, you know what? It's probably doing them all at one tick. But this one does cost a chunk of experience, right? So you're doing 30 damage, long cast time, but is taking a decent chunk of experience. Now, what it was meant to do is tag them and then essentially roll through a bunch of different tags, right? So if you use the maximum amount of experience, it's going to do X amount of damage, then X, then X, and X, and X. And if you use less experience, then it starts at a different interval, right? So it should accumulate to a lot more damage than 30, but I'm guessing he has, because of the incivility, yeah, can't talk today. Because he has incivility, nope. Because he has invincibility, there we go. Just got to enunciate. Invincibility frames, right, per tick. It's only doing the highest damage, which is 30, rather than counting down. Whereas I need to set up so there's a little delay between the checking. So it does 30, then X, and X, and X, right? I think that's the way around it. But yeah, I think overall I need to rebalance the spells so they are, you know, somewhat competitive with just a sword. Because I mean, if you get all 4 unlocks on a sword, and you have the special variants. I was about to jump off. And you have the special variants of weapons, right? So for instance, if we just grab, not defeat, there we go, on attack, right? We have the golden netherite sword, right? Look at that. It does 12 and 18, right? Or if I don't crit, it does 8 and 22 apparently. That's massive compared to the actual casting. In fact, I feel like that's probably a bit overtuned, right? I mean, I can probably get this guy down. He has 1,000 HP relatively quickly. Yeah, so I definitely need to balance everything. I don't want to destroy him, obviously, but I do want to see the damage numbers, right? Because it should be, there you go, 870 damage, and our DPS per second was 29, right? So that is gross compared to the actual spellbook. And then again, right, we can find a powerful enchant. In fact, we can also have sharpness and everything with it. And yeah, it's gonna get ridiculous. So I think I need to tweak them so they're not as powerful. And then I definitely need to tweak the spellbook so that they are slightly more powerful, right? Which unfortunately does obviously require somewhat of a delay. Me going through all of the damage numbers to fine-tune them. But there you go, we got Malignant. That is not spell time. Hopefully it added it to the right one. Yeah, perfect, because I had the empty slot. So we have Malignant Strike, which should just be poison. When we crit, it's just on chance. What are you meant to do? You're a strike, so you should be on hit, but it doesn't appear to actually be working. Slash its damage just, again, is not great enough, because the way damage works in Minecraft, it's always the highest damage and only the highest damage. So if you have 10 and 12, it's only going to do 12. It's not going to do 22, right? It will do the effects of both, if that makes sense, right? So if you have a damage type that does hunger as well, it will do the hunger damage, but it'll only do the most total damage, right, available from the different hits in one tick. So there is some semblance of damage immunity, so you can't actually over DPS. But yeah, I will definitely have to tweak things, including the spells. But starting off, right, there are 39, I think, different keywords, and of course you can combine them together, and you have different effects that way. I will put in some unique combinations as well, right, just to make it a bit more flavorful. Oh, there's one missing. I need to look into that. But yeah, I think that will do it for today, right? I just have to do a lot of balancing, but we're making progress. Technically, I'm going to mark them off on the board because they are done. It's just bug fixing and fine tuning. In fact, I've already marked it off. So magic's done. That was technically a miscellaneous item, the training dummy. So that's sort of done. I just got to tackle this shelf, I think, this week, and then we can start going into the end game, which is those three and these here and there. Again, these aren't a huge priority to me. If I get them done, I get them done. If I don't, it's not going to lessen the pack, I think. But yeah, hope you enjoyed nonetheless. We will leave it there, and I will fine-tune things and hopefully set up a bit better so I can actually go through a bunch of different spells. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.